Dun. Dun. Hey, everybody, this is TruePowerIsMine. This is TPIM SR Live, the People Show. Brothers and sisters. Wow. That interview last night was, and I often say this, historical. You know, I received some emails, and you can see the comment thread on that video as well. You know you have a good conversation when other conversations are sparked from it, when other questions derive from that discussion that you have had. And I want to point out something about this show that makes it radically different, Brother Shannon. Good morning. Peace and power. Respect and unity. Brother Marty, welcome to the show as well. Peace and power. Brother David, you're up awfully early. Huh? Start off with the Mo foot. Peace and power to you all. The difference about this show versus other show is this isn't a cheerleading operation. Yes, we're going to have guests that we may fundamentally disagree with on whole broader issues, but that's not the point. The point is to have a discussion. The point is, at the bare minimum, understand where another human being's coming from. And you can see how this thing goes. You know, just like Emperor Palpatine was telling young Anakin, in order to understand the Force, you must have a information base that encompasses the Force in its totality, not just one single-minded dogmatic view. And if we are to even begin to understand the state of confusion we are in, we have to have conversations outside of our normal realm of thinking. I mean, what kind of show would I have if every guest will, yep. I mean, as a viewer, you're just, yep. You're never engaged. You're never thinking about what they're saying. You're never really growing intellectually, basically. Because if you're just agreeing constantly, you kind of start shutting off the ears, don't you? You kind of stop listening because you already basically know the information being presented to you. Now, I don't know about y'all. I got a lot of homework to do. Some of the things that Jordan was saying has such a major implication to the world in which we are presently living in. It's really sad. It's really, you can see a better way. You can see that we have been purposefully, brothers, purposefully, Sister Kathy, put in this trick bag by our grandparents, by our parents, by our political leaders, by our educators. And at the end of this journey, it's your inevitable death. So from literally cradle to grave, the plan is, and this isn't my plan, y'all. Sister Kathy, I don't want you to be in this state. Brother David, I don't want you to be in this state. Brother Marty, Brother Shannon, I don't want y'all to be in this damn state of misery and confusion, when we're quite literally floating in space on a planet that can provide all of our needs. If we get up and go out and ascertain the correct resources to manufacture what we think we need to make ourselves complete. But who stops this process? Who stops this natural flow of resources? It's gatekeepers. It's the man or woman who owns the land. Oh, you can't come over here, chop down no tree. You can't come over here and dig up rock. You can't come over here and get shit. This belongs to me. This is mine, mine, mine. That's what little 2-year-olds say. Grab up a little toy. Mine, mine. And that's what we're doing as adults. As card-carrying members to a corporation. I mean a company. I mean a country. You know, one of the deepest things that I came out of the conversation with last night was the fact that Her Majesty, the Queen of England, is also the Queen of Malta, which is the military branch of the Catholic Church. The Queen of England is also the head of the Church of England. They apparently broke away with the Catholic Church. Well, we all know the story. Oh boy, he needed a baby boy. He wasn't taking no for the answer. So how come we so quickly accept lies? We so quickly accept half-truths. And what I mean by accept, you will, like Dick Gregory said, you think my mama was nice and saintly and holy and righteous, but she'd beat the living hell out of me if I was to tell her Jesus Christ wasn't a Christian. Because Christianity popped up basically about 300 years or so after he passed away. And then when Jordan told us that modern Christianity isn't even a true representation of first century Christianity. For all you people who do not believe in evolution, you better look at that. Everything evolves. I'm not tripping on so much when scientists suggest that evolution is the only predominant force in the universe. Look, evolution is simple. Look at your own existence. You first started off, Brother Malachi, Brother Bishop Bay in the house, peace and power. You first started off as a sperm and an egg in this world. As a sperm, you were fated. You were fated to penetrate that egg, close the door, and tell basically your brothers and sisters, potentially, to smag off. And you, the two parts of you, became the one. After that, you grew in your mother's water, inside of her vessel. At birth, you come out into this world and start breathing your own. You went from a aquatic situation where you're literally tethered to your mother. You come out, you get untethered, and you grow on to be an adult. You start off with dark black hair, and you end up with white hair. Brother James, peace and power. Welcome to the show. That's evolution right there. And you don't got to wait a million years. You can see it right now, right here. In fact, you can participate in it. Find yourself a chick, impregnate her, bada bing, bada boom. Now, I am advocating for people to link up with folks and make more humans. I'm a big fan of humanity. What can I say? Now, I want to talk now about what the The title of the show says, A1, Peace and Power. The title of the show, President Trump is blessed by God. I want that to sink in, y'all. These people are they're not playing a game. Now you might think, oh, well, I'm conscious, I'm this, I'm that, I'm educated, I'm educated, I'm educated, this and that. But if you do not fundamentally understand the psychology of people who you might not disagree with or perhaps might not even like, if you don't recognize that they are actually at the helm of this ship, guiding it through economics, through military, through education, then you're damned to forever be underneath their yoke. Let's Brent the Boxer, bodybuilder, welcome to the show, brother. Coming out, everyone's coming out. We got the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. We have the other side of the planet. And now we're going to get into it. Let's go over here to, I had to pull up a thing because like always, I always go by the seat of my pants. And then we'll kick it with the news a little bit later. But let's do this. Evangelicals believe President Trump is blessed by God. And see, I like to go to them and hear. Paula White, spiritual advisor for protection, Trump, blah, blah, blah. The real reason Trump. Holy Mike Pence. Hold on. We're just going to go right to YouTube because I don't like this particular bullshit they're trying to serve me up. And thank you to all the new subscribers, too. Welcome to the show. Welcome to, dare I say, the movement at this point. All right. Is Trump a president? No. Hold on. Oh, my God. I wanted, let me do the PBS because PBS is perfect broadcasting system. So technically that why even, okay, hold on.
President Trump marked this National Day of Prayer with an event in the Rose Garden as his support among white Christian evangelicals is at an all-time high. The annual event stood in contrast to the other news of the day we've been discussing, Mr. Trump's payments to an adult film actress. William Brangham has more.
Joining me now is a leader amongst American evangelicals.
Welcome to the show, Bag.
Prayed with.
Peace of power to you. This guy looks like a dork.
And prayed for President Trump. Reverend Samuel Rodriguez is president of the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference. And he is.
How can we look so angry? I mean, you're supposed to be filled with the light of God. You're supposed to be joy and thanksgiving and happy because, you're on top. You're not being persecuted by the Romans, but you come up here, lips all crazy looking, eyes. If you look into the man's eyes, I see a man who understands. He's intelligent. There's intellect there, but there's also pain and sorrow. Hopefully, little brother ain't gotten ran up into. But at least he is wearing a tie. Let's continue.
Served as an advisor in various capacities to Presidents Bush, Obama, and now President Trump. Welcome to the NewsHour.
Thank you for having me.
So the president was here for National Prayer Day. He met with many leaders of the faith community. You are in that inner circle. As we were saying before, the president has enormous support among the evangelical community. And I wonder if you could just help me understand, where does that support come from?
Public policy. Evangelicals experience or felt that in the past number of years, the past 10 years, issues of religious liberty, issues of advancing your Judeo-Christian value system stood in the...
Did you hear what he say? Advancing. In other words, in the past 10 years, it's harder for us to go out and basically force people to understand our religion. Roberts, welcome to the show. Peace and power. This is what I'm talking about. You know good and well what is happening now is information has broken loose. You know, as long as people are shut up, sit down, drink your beer, watch your stupid TV show, the bread and circus, beer is the bread and the TV's the circus. And he don't mind that guy going up into his church. In fact, he wants that guy to go up into his church, because if you have money for beer and cable, then you'll have money for tithing. And that's what it's about, man. Damn. That's what it's about. Let's hear this.
De facto and de jure manner, for that fact, threatened Sisters of the Poor, Hobby Lobby, Supreme Court cases that to evangelicals infringed their ability to advance the gospel of Jesus.
Now, he's playing with words. It infringes on their ability to basically barnstorm people and force the word on them. You know, here in the next few weeks, I am going to do a show about missionaries who have went to Kemet, or for the uninitiated, Africa, and all the sexual abuse. You want to talk about little boys up in Philadelphia. You want to talk about little boys out in LA. You want to talk about little boys in New York. But no one's giving a damn about the little boys in Ghana. No one's giving a fuck about the little boys in Somalia. No one gives a rat's ass about the little boys in South Africa. Because they're getting digged down too, against their will. Now, we're going to have to come to some sort of understanding about this beast, about this thing. If not, then you know what? I'll be doing this for another 40 or so years, and I'll peace out. And then there'll be another brother to try to do the same thing. He'll peace out. Then there's another brother try to do the same thing. He'll peace out. But the people who are really running the show will remain in power. We don't care which little religious or pseudo-religious leaders come, because they come and go. We remain the same. This is a war of a fucking attrition, y'all. A war of attrition. And you're battling the beast who literally has magical powers. How true? How does he have magical powers? Because he can quite literally print up money, the magical talismans, out of thin air. He can quite literally, using the Federal Reserve banking system, centralized banks, national banks, print up the money that you interact with. And that's how you get the resources for your personal operation. A lot of white folks are waking up. They're having their Negro wake-up call. They're seeing melanated brothers and sisters be treated in some respects better than they are themselves, and they're getting upset. And with the tie of religious ideology mixed with hate, mixed with the natural state of many people, you have a recipe. You have all the ingredients, baby, for genocide. And they're here, staring us quite literally in our face. But we have been so conditioned, brothers and sisters, to constantly lie to ourselves, to do mental gymnastics to make that square fit into that pyramid shape. Let's continue.
So all of a sudden we have President Donald Trump, and the public policy initiatives as it pertains to faith is much more favorable to the evangelical community indeed.
There's many things on that one side of the ledger that would seem to alienate him from the evangelical community. 3 marriages, accusations of adultery, bragging.
But he's orange. That's all that matters. He's orange. He looks like that picture of Jesus. That's all that matters. He looks like the Son, S-O-N, of God, as far as we're concerned. That's all that matters. Let's continue.
About sexual assault, you're arguing that the policy side of the letter, bragging about sexual assault, you're arguing that the policy side of the ledger is enough to make people think that those things don't matter as much.
No, I don't think it's ever to a point where it doesn't matter. I think it comes to the point where we don't want to write anyone off. You don't want to write off access to a president who can impact religious liberty, who can impact the sanctity of life. So it's a matter of balancing these narratives in a way where we never sacrifice truth on the altar of expediency, but we likewise support policies that reflect our Judeo-Christian value system.
So it was something much more fundamental to evangelicals when they looked at this last election, President Trump versus Hillary.
Brother Intel, brother or sister, whichever applies. This is a great comment. Pray for our nation. Oh, by the way, peace and power to you. Welcome to the show. Pray for our nation. This is the same demonic spirit that has been on this nation since the inception of the USA. They use religious ideology to harm the masses and steal from the righteous owners. Yes. Yes, indeed. Let's continue.
Hillary Clinton, that they just felt something much more fundamental was at stake that made them want to.
Some would argue the future of American Christianity. Some argue.
Is that right?
Absolutely. It became that sort of canopy, the impetus behind it, putting the personalities aside, the imperative, what's at stake here? I mean, put it in perspective, religious liberty, sacrificing your conscience on the altar of politics, government obligating you to somehow put away your belief system if you work in a hospital, whatever that may be. There were a number of issues that prompted 81% of evangelicals to support Donald Trump.
How much of a role did abortion play, do you think?
Significant. And I mean, arguably in the top two, right next to religious liberty. Even in the Latino evangelical community, there are 29-30%, whatever number you want to embrace, of Latinos supported President Trump. When asked in the exit polling what drove Latinos to support President Trump, it was life.
There were, as you well know, many people in your own congregation.
You know, I want to speak on this whole perception thing because it's kind of odd. You know, we have Jesus, the Son of the Lord Christ, depicted in most cases as a white guy. Also, if you ever get a chance to talk to, I guess, conscious Latinos or Hispanics who actually know something about their cultural history, they'll tell you a story about basically a white dude that showed up, taught them how to make like hot sauce and grow chilies and things of that nature. And then he disappears, but he says before he disappears, you know, he's going to return. So then when Christopher Columbus shows up, the elders are all like, oh my God, oh boy, he returned. He's white, he returned. But the young people are like, no, this dude, they're not gods. They sleep. They're fucking our chicks. They're shitting and pissing like just like us. But the old people are like, no, this white boy's God. And then you got the total collapse of their whole society afterwards. Religion has been used as the most powerful weapon of mass destruction that mankind has ever seen or known. Because within religion has the power, baby. It has the power to take your enemy and turn them into your most loyalist friend. A friend that will die for you. A friend that will get beaten over decades by you and allow their children to be beaten by you. Religion allows for all this because at the end of the day, don't forget, it's a very selfish notion. I'm not going to do shit to help this world, but as long as I follow this, and this, I'm going to go to heaven and it's going to be a party forever. That's a very powerful thought with very powerful consequences. As we can see, just look out your window. It is time, brothers and sisters, for you to wake up, for you to acknowledge the Most High, for you to acknowledge your place in the order of the universe. And your place is not to be a servant to another man or woman. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all experiencing life in the human form. Some are so-called more intelligent, some are more physically fit. But those attributes are not there for you to be in domination over your brothers and sisters. Those attributes are given to you to protect the weaker brothers and sisters. But because of the corruption, we are where we are. Let's continue.
That didn't like your support of the president, largely on the issue of immigration, I believe. And I know you have differed with the president on some of his stances on immigration. What do you say to him?
In my particular congregation, I pastor a very multi-ethnic congregation, 40% African-American, 40% white, 20% Asian and Latino. So I received a stack of Bibles, no pushback in my personal congregation because they saw me there with Obama.
No pushback to your support of Trump?
No, I never endorsed Donald Trump for his presidency. To me, it's a continuum of George W. Bush, President Obama for 8 years, and now President Trump. I disagreed with President Obama on a number of issues.
See how he's happy when he's talking about the black guy? That smile comes out now. We can put in some jabs. Welcome to the show, Brother Johnson. Peace and power. See, body language is everything, y'all. I mean, I stopped him on kind of a dorky pose, which I just have a gift for doing that. But prior to that, you could see his facial expression. But when, oh boy, because this other guy basically is attacking Trump. Whenever he starts to attack Trump, this facial expression changes. Watch and see what I say. Sister Janice, peace, power, love, unity, respect, and liberation. I'm glad you made it. Now let's go.
I mean, really, respectfully disagreed with him, but I love the man and respect the man. Likewise with George W. Bush. So my congregation sees it as continuity in what they would deem as a prophetic role to speak truth to power, to advance an agenda of love and truth and grace for immigration reform, educational equality, preserving life in and out of the womb. To them, there's a continuum taking place here.
One of the issues with regards to immigration is the issue of DACA and these 700,000 or 800,000 young people that were brought to America as children. You described it as morally reprehensible, the way that they are being treated now by our legislators. When you talk to President Trump about this, what do you say to him about that?
I'm able to speak to the president about these issues, and if not the president, his team. And the pushback, not even the pushback, the answer has been, Reverend, I love these young men and women.
He's used that language.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, the president looked at me and said, I'm a father and a grandfather, Reverend, and I get it. And I don't want to do anything to harm these young men and women, to me. So I heard that from the president of the United States.
But then how do you
and then you heard him subsequently talk about a love agenda regarding these young men and women.
How do you reconcile then President Trump talking about a love agenda with regards to DACA with his other rhetoric about immigrants, which many have called toxic rhetoric?
Yeah, and on a number of occasions, I have expressed in a very respectful manner my displeasure with comments and even wording phrases that do not line up with what I believe is a viable, sustainable message of love and hope and compassion. So it's a conundrum, and there seems to be not a dichotomy, but there seems to be this sort of balancing act that takes place. And at the end of the day, what do I care about? Public policy?
No, at the end of the day, you care about that plate being overflowing with dollars and talismans. It's becoming crystal clear how you can differentiate between rhetoric and truth. He's not going to ever say, see, I'm constantly in a state of a student. I'm constantly learning. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say I have all the knowledge. I will say I have quite a bit, but I don't have all of it. But I'm honest about it. I'm actively seeking it. I crave it. like a dope fiend craves dope. I crave secrets. I crave understanding, and I crave overstanding. And for the uninitiated, I'm simply saying I crave being able to communicate with other human beings and sincerely internalize what they're saying, whether I agree with it or not. But then I can come to an appropriate understanding of how to better communicate and facilitate my ideals and thoughts in that other individual. That's the overstanding. I received a letter last night at the Gmail account, TruePowerIsMine, all one word, at gmail.com. That's where you need to send tips and show ideals to. And it was in response to Jordan Maxwell, I believe. It might have been the individual that thumbs down that broadcast. But they went on to go on like basically a 3-paragraph rant about how they cannot believe I get the quality of guests I get. My show is so inapt. I'm a horrible guest. Blah, 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 etc., etc. All this venom and poison. Now, I wrote back to that individual. I said, peace and power. Thank you for watching. Now, I left all that negative bullshit back with them because I try to read all the messages, at least as many as I can get to in a day. The reason why, and I have always been open about this, the reason why I'm able to get the people I can get is because of the Most High. As I'm talking to these folks on the phone, I am inspired to apparently say the right words. Words are nothing more. When we're dealing with human beings, words are like the combination, the numbers on a combination lock. The person is the vault. All right, you know how you have to go up there and push those round cylinders, 3, 1, 1, 3, and then it opens up or whatever, right? Well, as I'm talking to these people on the phone, because I don't know them, I never met the majority. I mean, I'm talking about like 95 something percent of my guests. Prior to me reaching out to them and getting them on the show, I never talked to them in reality. Well, look who snuck in there. Sister Alexandra, peace and power. Welcome to the show. But I can somehow articulate something that touches them. Because don't forget, y'all, everybody that appeared on this damn show ain't paid. They don't get no money. They don't get no compensation, man. I bet you my bottom dollar, the good reverend here probably got a couple of shekels. A lot of these shows, all right, I'm going to break it down to you, man. A lot of these shows out here, you see these guests coming through. These people are being paid on the back note, on the back door. Man, thank you, Pete. Thank you. I appreciate you for being a part of the show. I appreciate each and every one of you for being a part of this show. You think, hold on one second. We'll get back to this. You'll get back to this. But I got to show y'all this so that you see what I know. I have to show y'all this. Hold on one second. Let's jump over here. Oh my goodness. I need some sort of musical inspiration. Boy, I came out of meditation today on fire. In a good way. Not like fire, like, oh my God, I'm burning. Oh shit. No, it was really good. Hold on. I'm thinking this might be. Let me see. Okay. That's okay. Cool. Let me make it bigger. I don't know about you guys. All right. Hopefully. Man, this camera is so horrible, y'all. Sincere apologies. But for those who may be having difficulties reading, this is the summary for TruePowerIsMine YouTube channel, the People's channel. Last 28 days, views 45,000, well, 45.6 thousand. It's up 41%. That's you guys sharing the latest content. Watch time minutes, 28 days, 1.1 million, up 45%. That's you guys not just sharing that stuff, but the people you're sharing it with is actually watching it. And the revenue is $95. I try to keep most of the commercials breaks. If I was to put 1 million commercial breaks, then this number could damn near be $200-300. But I just do enough just to do enough. The top shows. Okay, top shows as of the last 48 hours, the last 2 days. Jordan Maxwell, show we did last night. Terrorism Explained, show I did earlier that day. And it's the U.S., a.k.a. American Empire in Decline. And that's the show I did, I think, the day for that. The reason why I show you this, and we're 3,321 subs strong. And we're growing. The reason why I'm showing you guys this is not to be like, oh man, I'm so cool. Look at me, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm showing this for all you brothers and sisters who are curious about doing your own YouTube thing and how you can do it and generate some money. Yep. Trying to get some magical talismans in your palette. You know reason why? Because I fundamentally recognize Sister Janice, Brother Johnson, Brother Marty, Sister Alexandria. I recognize the stronger you are, the stronger we are. And I want to help you get to that plateau. Because unfortunately, brothers and sisters, we can't be idealistic with this totally. As long as the system is in control, we are all still cells within it. And I'm here to win it. We've been getting losses enough. It's time to win. That's why, for those who don't know, Sister Alexandria, there's not just an artist, she's an author. She has a book. And she's so humble, she never even comes in here and promotes it. But I'm going to promote it for her. Sister Alexandria has a book. Sister, only thing I ask is that you at least post a web link in the chat so that we can go and check out your webpage. Because we're going to have to start doing some self-promotion, y'all. Brother T. Doss, welcome to the show. Peace and power. 2 jobs. You're new. Welcome to the show. Peace and power. Unity and respect. And Brother Kenneth, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I want to see as many of y'all make it through this thing. See, Brother Bay, Mr. Bay that we had on the other day from Cali, he has a plan. He doesn't even realize his plan really coincides with what I talk about on this show. He's fixing to get up out of this country. He has a house in another country being built right now. Thank the Most High. So when the genocide happens in here, this brother's going to be safe over there. That's how it works. Put this thought in your subconscious and tuck it away. Just tuck it away. Just put it in an envelope, tuck it away. How many small hats died during World War II because they did not have the resources to leave Germany? How many Russians died after World War II because they didn't have the resources to leave Germany. How many Chinese died during World War II and immediately after World War II because they lacked the financial resources to leave China? How many U.S. citizens will die because they lack the economic means to leave the United States? That's a question that only the future can tell us. And that's the future I don't want you all to be a part of. If you can get out, I suggest you do. If you're trapped, welcome aboard, brother. Welcome aboard, sister. And let's continue.
See, I care about what does the president sign in the Rose Garden? Will these men and women who are created in the image of God be deported? Will they be protected? Will there be a pathway for legalization, inevitably for citizenship? That right there is what drives me to do what I do. So I understand it. It's by the grace of God I'm there, but I have had conversations with the president where he has celebrated, affirmed, validated the immigrant community in America.
Reverend Rodriguez, thank you.
Yeah, well, it's time to pick some avocados. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to come onto the farm. We're going to provide you with a sombrero. And you're going to pick. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 2 jobs. The real American. Thank you. Bae, I would never lie intentionally on this show or anybody else's show or in real life unless it involves death. Like if someone held a gun to my head, held a gun to my kid's head, held a gun to your head or anybody, any human's head. If I'm walking down the street and some gunman had, hey, you better say 2 + 2 = 3, or I'm gonna pop this poor person. Yeah, I would lie to get that person saved. You know the reason why? Because I reject this bullshit. We have to die for nothing. Death is coming upon us, brothers and sisters. There's no 2 ways about that. It is. But the manner in which you die, the manner in which many brothers and sisters are dying right now, and I'm going to take this 1 second, then I'll get right back to Trump. I got to speak on this for those who are not being heard. The brothers and sisters who've been around the poison out here on the streets, the drugs, the cigarettes, the alcohol, the plastics, the stuff they put on paper. When you touch paper, you're touching all carcinogen chemicals. So when you're writing, you're getting polluted. Now to the corruption of the food, the DNA, the GMO aspect to it. If not just the GMO, brothers and sisters, come on now. They're also spraying glyphosate, that Roundup juice, IG Furbin in the house. That stuff's not just in your food. As far as like your raw fruits and vegetables, that shit. Do you think Kellogg's washes that wheat through a fucking man? I don't care if there's rats and shit in there. They just grind that shit up because the FDA allows so much insect fecal material and rat parts in milling material, flour. So that shit's in your pancakes, that shit's in your pasta, and what I mean by that shit is pesticides that was sprayed on the field by them illegal workers, by them melanated workers, by them poor U.S. citizens who have to do that kind of work so you can live the fantasy. And it is just that, the fantasy you are calling reality. Because you take away the magic talismans, You take away the dollar, your fantasy abruptly ends, and you will be back out there in the field. I remember talking to a great man. He couldn't come on the show, but he still afforded me a time to talk to him. And one of the strangest things I took away from that conversation, he said, you know, the reason why the white man goes so hard, I'm paraphrasing, the reason why the white man goes so hard with this power and domination thing is because the white woman is not trying to go back to the cave. When he said that, it just blew me away. You're not going to go back to the cave. Well, then, damn it, why are we marching back to the plantation? Why do we march around inside the cells of the plantation thinking we're outside the plantation? Once you understand what motivates a person, now you can understand how to deal with this person. Once you understand what truly motivates you, brothers and sisters, now you can start breaking the chains that are holding you back. You're going to get help. But brother and sister, you're only going to get help the way you're going. This show has been powerful. It is powerful. And it will be powerful. That's the way we're going. And a part of this, you know, I mean, like I said, I got a lot of, you know, kind of, I don't know, man. I got a really good reception. I thought the show last night was one of the best shows ever, but then again, I always say that after a show because my show's so dynamic, there's no repeats. But a lot of the feedback I also got, you know, was kind of, you know, from my point of view, I'm like, I wonder did it really ultimately get the point? Because sometimes when we listen to things, brothers and sisters, we only hear what we want to hear. And what we want to hear, if we want to hear a certain thing, it's not validated, then all of a sudden we're upset. You know, every guest I've had on this show, every one of them, trusted me. Now, I'm not saying they're going to trust me with their wallet or their bank account number or their firstborn or their car or house. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about on a basic level. They trusted me. They trusted. I mean, just think about it. If you was a semi-famous person, some dude calls you up random out the blue, talking about, hey, I have a show. I want you to come on said show. How do you not know this dude could just be some sort of stalker? Could be just one of your fans. Oh, I just want to get close. You know, a vampire. See, that's why I love this audience. You guys are not vampires trying to drain. You know, let's drain True. You know, all I have is bite marks all over my body, psychically speaking, because you guys are draining out all my energy. But there are a lot of people out there floating that are just like that. They are actually vampires. And these people didn't know me. I could have been one of them. Oh, I am only here to drain the energy out of you. This is the orientation of this world. Most people can recognize real. Most people can recognize bullshit. And this message is apparently just somebody needs to hear this right now. You stop doing the doubt. You get your butt in gear and you start doing the program. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You start doing it right now. You contact me, hit me up on the email, and we will continue this discussion. I told you I would meditate, and I have. Now, back to this Trump and God. Hold on. Is doing God's will. Oh, come on. I hate this old raggedy keyboard, yeah, but it is what it is. God is ultimately
the Bible certainly is one of, if not, I mean, it is the book.
Let's pray together, may we? Yes.
I believe in God. I am Christian. I'm a Protestant. I'm very proud of it. Presbyterian, to be exact.
I'm Presbyterian. Boy, that's down the middle of the road, folks, in all fairness. I mean, Seventh-day Adventist, I don't know about.
I have great...
Well, you should know about them. Seventh-day Adventist. You know, I'm not a SD. Okay, I'm not. All right. But I do recognize bullshit, and I do recognize truth, and I do recognize sincerity. At least they're following the rules. You ain't going to catch them messing around on a Sunday. They're going to do that on Saturday. I guess what I'm ultimately saying is that when we see one group basically calling out another group who's participating in the collective fantasy of the total collective group, it registers to me as bullshit. I don't know about y'all, but it registers to me as ding, 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 bullshit. But let's just leave that at that, and let's let him say what he needs to say. I'm also doing this to teach you guys, if you're doing the commentary thing when you do your show, you got to talk to, you just can't let it roll the whole thing, man, because that's not really commentary. You got to stay on point as well.
Relationship with God. I have great relationship with the evangelicals, and I go to church a lot. Always on Christmas, always on Easter, always when there's a major occasion, and during the Sundays. I'm a Sunday church person.
So, you know, the months when I'm grabbing pussies and, you know, making shady deals and not paying people for doing work for me, I don't go to church then. But was I robbed and pillaged as a businessman, not the president, just as a businessman, grabbed the JJs and bragged about it? I make all this money. Then on Christmas, I want to go to church. Then on Easter, as we all know, it's nothing more than about sex. About running around catching a girl and doing what you will. I like to show up for that. I mean, that's what he's ultimately saying. You see, once you start learning all this stuff, you start learning all the codes, you start seeing what he's saying. It's Orwellian double talk. And we all engage in it. We all engage in it on certain levels. But of course, I don't have the ability to press a button in all of our little lives now, do I? But he does. That's why, I guess out of self-preservation, I respect the presidency. Because I respect my life. If I know that you can kill me and do what you want and destroy me, you're going to have respect for that. If not, then you're going to be in a perilous situation. And that's just honesty. Now, that don't sound too hardcore and powerful, true? Well, you know what? Sometimes the truth isn't hardcore and powerful. Sometimes the truth is just what it is. Now, you can take it for what it will. You can go out there and be a fool, but I'm not going to fight my enemy in its strongest capacity. If I know my enemy is weak, playing spades, guess what? I'm going to practice all day long playing spades. So when I come to my enemy, I'm playing spades like a champ. But if I know that my enemy strongest suit is knocking people out, boxing, and I know that no matter how hard I train, I'm never going to meet their physical standards, I'm not going to get in the ring with that. Because it costs, the benefit outweighs the risk. Now, when you're sitting there playing a card game, a mental game, that's different. But when you're playing a physical game and you're not up to strength, you got to be a fool to jump into that arena. Let's go.
I like to do the right thing where I don't have to actually ask for forgiveness. When we go in church and when I drink my little wine, which is about the only wine I drink, and have my little cracker, I guess that's a form of asking for forgiveness. And I do that as often as possible because I feel cleansed. We were having fun when I said, I drink the wine, I eat the cracker. If I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture.
My wife and I pray for you.
Thank you. Well, I need it probably more than anybody.
Notice the blue tie? If y'all can see that. No, you guys can't. Damn. Well, you might. Yeah, you might be able to see. You notice how he's talking with the blue tie? You see the hand, the downward pyramid? Well, let me post this because there's a lot of body language being presented on this video. You can obviously watch it at your own speed. Don't leave the live stream to go watch it, though. I'm just joking. Let's continue.
You can stay if you want it because you need the prayer more than I do, I think. I want to just pray for Arnold if we can for those ratings. I can understand the evangelicals to a certain extent saying, well, maybe he's not as nice as we want him to be, but they also want to see the country be great.
Why do you think those voters are drawn to you?
Well, I'm Protestant, I'm Presbyterian, which means something.
Elijah Cummings died. Hold on. Just give me 30 more. Just give me 1 minute, and then we'll go and we'll check out this Elijah Cummings.
Maybe he's not as perfect on the Bible, but I did go to Sunday school for many years, I want to tell you. I get sent Bibles by a lot of people.
Where are all those Bibles anyhow now?
Well, actually, we keep them in a certain place, a very, very nice place.
My second favorite book of all time. What's my first favorite book? The Bible.
The Bible is special. The Bible, the more you see it, the more you read it, the more incredible it is.
An Old Testament guy or New Testament?
Probably equal Proverbs, the chapter, never bend to envy. I've had that thing all.
Probably equal. Let's check it out. Let's see what's on the news feed here. Dun, 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 dun. Well, Dr. Short was talking about him. And now he's already removed. Cloned. You know, yeah, dead. Culture of death. Now, just think of all the, let's see what, I'm just morbid curiosity now. Powerful Democratic congressman dead. I wonder what bootleg they're going to get to replace him. Oh, shit, we got to hurry up and scramble. We got to scramble. Dang. But you know, the beautiful thing is, now maybe he can see the totality of his works. Well, not with his eyes, not in that sense, but get a feel, I guess. Call Dr. Short. Yeah, let's do. Hold on. Let's call Dr. Short It might be a little early. I'm gonna call him. I'm calling him right now. We're giving a live call out to a friend. Man, this is like, or an expert actually too. This is oh, hold on, I gotta go down here. I gotta make some phone calls today, don't I? Where? Too many doctors. There, I'm that doctor. The evil. If you believe, yes, I can. All right. All right. Bye. Damn. He's in a hearing. He will call me back. He's literally in a hearing. No, I would like to have Alex Jones on the show. I would have no problem. But just like when I reached out to Jordan Maxwell, but it didn't happen until it was right. He was on the show. All I need is just the phone number to whoever you want. If I can get their phone number, or at bare minimum, at least the email, then I can make contact with them. I have my magic or gift or blessing or I guess expertise is in the talking. I can talk. That's what I do. And I can build homes as well. But that's what I do. I think it really came from my construction. When I first became a lead man, kind of running a 4-man crew underneath the guidance of the foreman, I learned how to communicate with these guys and get them to produce, not for the fucking company, they produce for me. Because I find out what they like and I just add on it. And we all became brothers. We were building damn near a house and a half while other crews were barely busting out the first house. Always giving $100 bonuses, man. That's how you do it. You have to be inspiring. And that's what I guess I strive to be, inspirational. But at this moment, Baltimore, Maryland, Elijah E. Cummings. I guess now we can put aside politics and just deal with the humanity of the man. I know a lot of you guys look unfavorably on his public policies. But let's not forget, yeah. Let's not forget. Hold on. Man, now my computer's acting up. I want this picture. I want to kill this article, but I want the picture. This man was somebody's daddy. This man was someone's brother. This man was someone's son. And for those who love this man sincerely, I too understand what it feels like to lose someone I love. And on that level, I'm deeply sorry for you. Just like I'm deeply sorry for all human beings who will have to cross that bridge sooner or later. I'm not going to badmouth old boy. I'm not going to say what a scumbag, he loved death and now he's in it. Because at this point of the conversation is useless. I will say that no matter if you guys think this shit's gonna change, no, he was just a cog. Now I'm just speaking on the political aspect, the game. He was just a cog in a certain machine, and that cog is already being replaced right now as we speak. So do not bat your pretty little eyes. The agenda of depopulation will continue. The agenda of exterminating the blacks will continue. The agenda of keeping the American populace in ignorance in perpetuity will continue. Puppets and pawns. That's what it is. Now he is on the great journey. Right now, as we speak, Elijah Cummings is on the great journey that we all are going to take. We may go kicking, we may go screaming, but the point is, our asses go. As a human who has empathy for other human beings, when I look into his eyes, all I see is a man who understands he's dying. I look into his eyes and I see a man who understands his regrets. And he probably understands now that he probably understands now the full consequences of all of his earthly actions. Brother Abdullah, welcome to the show. Peace and power to you. Kamran, Amra, welcome to the show. The one that asked me about Alex Jones. He was a good dude. That's what I'm talking about, T. To somebody, he was a very good person. Now, we got to understand the difference between the political game and the human game. He might have been a very loving father. He might have been a great brother, you know, a type of brother that would encourage you. But he did politically what he did politically because that was his niche. That's what he did. And I know a lot of people, it's so easy when a brother or sister is falling to start bad mouthing them. But in my opinion, all that shows is a true lack of empathy and true lack of humanity. Because we're not perfect, damn it. None of us are. We all have our quirks. We all have our deal. Now, of course, my quirks don't advocate killing unborn babies, but that aside, he is still my brother. But he still should be your brother as well. He's one of our fallen comrades. Because in death, we are all truly united. I wish we could be that way in life. But by default, we are that in death. You know, let's see what other horrible news is happening today. Trouble, U.S. Today phasing out print edition. Oh, yeah. Capitalism in action, yeah. Let me get this article over here. Capitalism in action. There might be something good. 22 million illegals in the United States, not 11 million. Holy shit. Holy shit, that's almost like a damn invading army. I mean, not like to for images of that. I don't want to spark up images of that, like Delta Force, that movie where all shit just broke loose. Federal debt up to $1.2 trillion to Americans detained in China. Hopefully they're not JBS, John Birch Society. Did slaves make your Chinese shirt? Suicide rate? Wow. You guys remember the show I did a couple of days ago? I guess one of the only shows I ever got emotional on. I was talking about the sister from San Diego that pieced out. But youth suicide rate 56%. A rise 56% in a decade. In past 10 years, the number of sad souls out there, the number of lost souls. I literally believe, man, if people were truly exposed to the truth of this thing, there's no need to be sad nor happy. When we're just dealing with society and political matters, you need to keep that emotional shit out of the equation. Now, I do realize some people are just mentally unbalanced, but that goes back to the pollutants in your environment. That goes back to the formaldehyde in your couch. That goes back to the juice they spray in the sky. We got to see now. This culture of death, we pay for it. We worship it. We love it. We fight for it. We die for it. But at the same time, it's slowly killing us. Ted Bundy's girlfriend breaks up or breaks 40-year silence. You know, that's somebody that's trying to get some dollars, yeah. If that bitch really cared about it, she would have been like, you know what? Old boy's over here chopping up people. Old boy got dudes, little dudes underneath the basement. Bust him. You know, that isn't it a trip, yo? I can jump in a car with a homie who's happening to be carrying some sort of drugs, right? We're driving down the street. We get pulled over. I'm going to jail along with dude because he got drugs in the car and I'm just in the damn car with him. I'm going to jail with dude. And you think I'm bullshitting, try it sometime. But this chick, where's she at? This chick can straight up insinuate that she has some secret information about what was cracking. But no jail time for her. She's rolling around with a damn serial killer. They put a motherfucker in jail for rolling around with a drug dealer or drug user. But you can roll around with serial killers, wait, 4 decades, and then, yep, I got a tell-all book. Yeah, I saw guts and I saw human lampshades. I saw, hell, he took a dude's hand and made a pair of slippers out of him. Some old crazy shit. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not going to watch this filth. I thought they just actually had a picture of a girl, but obviously they're not showing her in her prime. Because I tell you what, after 40 years, that chick did not look like that. She'd be more looking like a damn pound puppy. One of those old pound puppies. It was a cartoon back in the day. Little puppy with wrinkly ass faces. Ron Paul roasts Lindsey Graham's been wrong about every foreign policy decision. Ed Buck was known for a brazen behavior, but politicians still took his money. Ed Buck, for those who do not know, who's uninitiated, Ed Buck was in Los Angeles shoving crystal meth up the rectums of black men who were prostitutes, and then he would take his Vienna sausage and go up in them. Sometimes they lived. A couple of them died. That we know of. Now that's your Democrats for you. That's why you get so much blowback from dudes like him. He would take, not him because he's in a different district, but he would take money from characters like Ed Buck because those are the people who are funding the Democratic Party. If pedophiles and homosexuals are funding you, then no wonder you're going to pass an Equality Act that provides legitimate legal protection for their deviant sexual behavior. That's the political game. And he makes a couple of bucks out of the deal. I bet you Lindsey Graham is a sissy. Politically, he doesn't really stand up, and to my opinion, and represents the full people. Wait, it's true. Like he's a sissy, like a cross-dressing sissy, like he dresses up in lipstick and skirt, or he's just weak politically, like kind of a pancake. Kim sex, yes. My one, yes, brother. Kim sex. That's what I'm talking about with Ed Buck. Look, man. One thing I will agree with what Jordan said last night wholeheartedly. I don't care who gets upset. The closest you will get to God is when you're in that woman and you two are making new life. Not just fucking, having sex, making the fuck that. I'm talking making new life. At that moment, you become the father, brother. Now, you can't achieve that state of being with some cocaine in your nose and your dick in another man's booty. You will never get to that plateau that I'm talking about. And when that baby comes out, when that baby's finally birthed and you're holding him or her, you put that little head up against your chest and you can feel that new energy coming from that baby, that new heat, that new life. That's what I'm talking about. You're never going to get that fucking around with this culture of death, selfish shit. Because at the end of the day, man, all that old perversion, all that bullshit is selfishness. You can call it homosexuality. You can call it bestiality. You can call it pedophiliality. You can call it whatever you want. The truth remains, you're just a selfish motherfucker who's engaging in selfish fucking behavior. It's all about self-gratification. And fuck, well, excuse the pun, the rest of it. It true enough takes a man and woman nowadays working in concert to raise children. The dysfunction will tell you, no, girl, all it takes is you in the state. No, boy, all it takes is you in the state. We'll raise that baby. That's a lie. Talk to a sincere single mother out there who truly had no help. In other words, she could pick up the phone. Hey, can someone watch this baby so I can go to the store? Or better yet, can someone come and watch this baby so I can go to the beauty salon or the beauty parlor so I can get fixed up? Or even worse yet, can someone come through and watch this baby so I can go to work and make minimum wage so I can keep my little government check? Because as long as I'm working at Walmart, I get my food stamp. You see, the real journey begins when the baby gets here. The real journey is when the baby's 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, and you're still giving them love. You're still giving her love. You're still giving them instruction. The real journey begins when you choose the right woman to put your seed in to begin with. For you men out there looking for a true woman, remember this: if she's unable or she's unwilling to follow you, you might as well stay at home and jack off and save yourself a lot of money and a lot of pain and a lot of disappointment. if she is unwilling to follow you, and if you're unwilling to die for her, defend her, keep her ass safe, woman, don't let that man use you for a good time. If he's unwilling to sincerely care about you on a human level, he's unwilling to help raise them babies in a very real sense. He's unwilling to go the long haul. Don't waste your time, sister. Let that man nut up in you and then send your ass down the road. Don't be that chick. Because at the end of the day, if you're just an object of affection, then you're just his plaything. But if the family is the object or the focus of this thing, then you're truly and sincerely his partner. And a family is another way of saying business. If you don't have a leader who's worthy to be a leader of that business, it's going to close. It's going to be mismanaged, and it's going to run aground like a ship. It'll be just like a ship out there in the ocean without clear direction or guidance. It's going to run aground, and now you're going to have broken homes. Now you're going to have potentiality for children to get molested by new people coming into the home or whatever. Now you're going to have pre-teens getting pregnant. Now you're going to have little boys catching AIDS at 16, fucking the wrong chick, don't have no idea, or letting some dude fuck them, don't have no idea what this thing's about because they don't have proper guidance because there was two fools that were having fun instead of having a plan. Sex shouldn't be a sport. Sex should be a part of a realistic plan. I'm not going out here just doing this just to have fun, damn it. I'm going out here to make a new human being, a new spirit on this earth. And because it was part of a plan, it will work. But when you're out there just floating around, you're going to get help. You're going to find that easy person, and you're going to go the way you're going to your fate. You're out there, I don't know, you're at that club, you meet that little chick, you fuck her in the car. 9 months later, yeah, we're looking for Antonio. Yeah, Antonio, such and such, we need a swab. Doop, doop. Yep, you are the daddy. Mr. Antonio, you're going to have to start paying child support. Next thing you know, old girl's talking to her bitter little girl. You need to get on Section 8. You need to do this. You need to do that. Dude, here's the play. Once that chick gets on Section 8, once she gets on welfare, once she gets that state insurance for those babies, all that money is on you, buddy. Forget that little $100 a month jazz. All of that money the state's paying for those babies through her, you're going to pay the state. Or your ass is going to go to jail. Either or, bud. The magic of the talismans. See, that's why when these young people go out here and try to live this whole fancy dancy ass lifestyle, I'm a baller. Motherfucker, you a fool. You ain't balling. 20 years from now, you won't have a pot to piss in because you're pissing your money away now. What you are is a victim. A delusion. Well, I know Ronald, he came up in the game. He's big time. And then a couple of months later, you find out Ronald done blew his brains out, committed suicide, or got shot up. Intentionally. The game is to get people to desire what they don't want or don't really need. And unfortunately, the society we're under has done a terrific job of doing that on a mass level. How many little brothers back in the 90s and 80s got killed trying to steal a $75 car stereo out of a car? How many brothers and sisters back in the 80s and 90s got killed over pairs of shoes? How many brothers and sisters back in the 80s and 90s got killed on drug deals that went wrong? They get you desiring shit you don't need, and you get help going the way you're going. And my friends, that way is a fast way to where old boy is. Dead. TPIM SR Live is about life. It's not about death. We talk about some very unpleasant shit, but we talk about it so that you guys can get better prepared to ensure that you have longevity. We are under attack, brothers and sisters, by apparent entities outside of our biosphere using men and women within our biosphere or dwelling on our biosphere to do their will, to pollute this. It's almost as if we're terraforming this earth like the dinosaurs terraformed it for us. You know that good soil out there? It's all decayed matter. It used to belong to bodies of other animals and critters and plants. But now it's the food that modern plants have to use to survive. Elijah Cummings won't be remembered. You know, reason why? How often do you guys think of Senator Clayton Powell? How often do you think about? Once a day, once a month, once a year? He's not remembered. Of course, he should be, but he's not. Fuck. For that matter, if people wasn't always rapping and talking about it, how many of y'all would be thinking about Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or George Washington or Abraham Lincoln? Like we're not thinking of Taft or Garfield. To try to be remembered is ultimate in vanity. So if all your goals and all the direction you're moving is to somehow get into a position to where you're going to be remembered, you're already dead. People are too busy living their lives to give two rats ass, unless they're researchers. Now, a lot of you guys are researchers, so you guys are a different audience than what those statements were really made for. You guys are too astute. You guys understand the value of information. But let's be honest, Brother King. Smoke less. Let's be honest. Most of our fellow citizens don't give a rat's ass about no history. Unless it's a history where they getting a check or they done paid off something and they got a receipt. That's about the only thing they're going to read. They're not going to read novels. They're not going to read expository writings. They're not going to read articles from all over. They're just not. They're going to wait for someone to do it for them, put it in a nice format, and give it to their ass for free. That's what they do. That's what we do. I'm not mad at you for that. I'm just stating that to be a fact. But there's going to come a time, brothers and sisters, where you won't have the freebies no more. There's going to come a time where this show's not available on YouTube no more. It's gone. But the truth is still the truth. You know, before I take off, I want to put this out there in you first. I want a real radio show. I want to be on a radio network. I'm putting that out there right now as of October 17, 2019, the year of our Lord. I want to be on a not nation to nation, continent to continent radio broadcasting network show, whatever. Universe, make it happen. And I'm taking you all with me, chatters. You guys are coming with me. Strength in numbers. Also, to the sister or brother who was mentioning Alex Jones, I ask you, reach out to Alex Jones on my behalf. The call-in number to reach me, 636-209-5044. 636-209-5044. Reach out. Help me to expand the boundaries of our show. This will conclude TPIM SR Live for today, folks. Thank the Most High that you're still alive. I sincerely ask you to live your life with integrity, without hate, envy, or greed. As always, brothers and sisters, please let's try to be kinder to each other. Power and peace. Respect and dignity. Unity and victory and liberation. I'm out.